If you have been on social media, you would have seen a video by Kunle Remy lamenting about, what is happening in Nigeria. And there was something he said in that video that really sat me up, because it's something I've always told my friends. My friends who say, oh, they're not curious enough to want to dabble into what is happening in the country. It doesn't concern them. Or, let politics be politics. Let the people be the people. But in my 5 years of doing journalism by practice, having to, by the sheer act of the work that I do, having to always be constantly involved in what is happening, because I need to know what I have to talk about on my shows, right? I need to know what is happening. I cast the news, so I should know what I'm casting on, or the story I'm telling the people. I produce political programs, so of course I would hear what is happening in the country. And you can say that those 5 years has kind of matured me or grown me up. Before, I was interested in politics, but it is in a, it was for out of pleasure, to just know. It wasn't from a place of I'm actually involved. I need to be involved in what is happening in the country, or what you call activism. I didn't say that. I just wanted to know what was happening. But after 5 years of doing radio, it is my wish to tell you that if you, no matter the country you reside in, no matter the part of the world you reside in, but let's, focus and zone in on our case study today, which is Nigeria. If you live in Nigeria and you still have the mentality that what is happening in this country is none of your business, that government is government, politics is politics, that you shouldn't concern yourself with what is happening in the country, then you need to realize that that is the beginning. That is why, in fact, that is why we are here today in this country. That is why we are here today in this country. One of my favorite movies, V for Vendetta, something was said in that movie. The people shouldn't be afraid of the government. The government should be afraid of the people. And there are a lot of reasons why I want to tell you and prove to you that you should be concerned about what happens in Nigeria. Politics is not a dirty game. It is the human beings that are in it that are dirty. When human beings have realized the kind of greed, money they can get from a certain venture, they wouldn't want to let go. That is what power does to people. And guess what? Each and every one of us has that monster in us. What makes us different is that you realize that you have the monster and say, hell no, I am choosing to go the right way. Number one, why you should be concerned, and why speaking about politics should be your first thing. It's because if you dig deeper, if you research deeper, if you understand how systems work, you realize that the people, after God, after your Father in heaven, the next person that holds your life in the palms of their hands are the government. The next person that determines how your life goes, no matter the decisions you make, no matter the plans you have set out, the next person that has your life in their hands is the government. I'm so sorry if I get emotional in this video, because I need to log off the internet. I've been consuming things that are just, I'm just I'm frustrated. I'm angry. And honestly, I don't want to be angry. I was begging the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, I beg, help me. How can I communicate some things to people? I don't know anything. I don't know it all. I am still learning. I'm still searching. I'm still seeking for knowledge. But it worries me a lot that there are a lot of people not seeking, and they are living in ignorance, and that ignorance is what is going to eventually kill us in this country. See, you might think this country will not happen to you. Maybe you drop mad, or the country is no longer affecting you. You now have a remote job that's paying you really well. So it's like the average Nigerian is waiting to break out of the system. And once they break out of the system, deuces, guys. The other people at the bottom, whatever is happening, that is their business. But even when you break out of the system, believe you me, the system would always catch up with you. The system would always catch up with you. So number one, you need to realize that your life is in the government's hand. They're discussing national budgets, and you're like, what are these people talking about? I mean, they should do Joe and get out of here. But you see that national budget they are discussing? They're discussing what they think matters to you. So when you feel like it is none of your business, know that they have decided what your life would look like in the next 10, 8 years. The new budget, the sector that was heavily awarded was the security sector. It got over like 5.5 trillion plus naira. Right? And my biggest concern is education and health. I can do some research and, bring out the money for education, but I know the one for health. This year, the Nigerian government proposed a 2.48 trillion naira health budget for 2026. Last year, 2025, what they proposed was 218 billion naira. And guess how much was given to the Federal Ministry of Health in 2025 out of that 218 billion naira? Only 36 million naira. Now they have actually increased the budget for this year. The question is, how much are they going to give? The full 2.48 trillion naira, or less than that, or even beyond that? We already know what the answer is. We already know what the answer is looking at. It's looking like, see a budget as you're going to the market and you say rice 3k, beans this one, yam this one. When you get to the market, you see what the market is saying, and then you either decide to reduce the money you spend on rice so that yam can be more, right? First of all, you try, based on what you're based on the prices you're hearing in the market, you decide, you do a preferential scale. You decide which one should be priority. Do I really need rice this week? Do I really need yam this week? Apparently last year, federal government said health is not our problem. That same sector is the same sector that has gotten brain trained. Most of the doctors, nurses, midwives, they're all leaving Nigeria because they're not paying them well. 36 million naira is the money used to fund just one Nollywood movie. Just one Nollywood movie. In fact, Onobiren by Laju Iren has made more than 36 million naira in the cinema in its, I think, first month of opening in the cinema. 100 million naira. But that is what the federal government is giving to a country of over, how many are we in this country, Seth? of over 200 million people, the federal government is giving for the full 12 months in 2025, gave the Federal Ministry of Health 36 million naira. Money that can be made if 3 wise people gather. What am I even saying? We gather and open a business and we're serious about it. We can make that 36 million naira in a month. That is what the federal government gave to Nigeria for health. Nigeria is the country with the highest maternity death in the world. 1,000 women in 100,000 women that would give birth in a month. 100,000 women in a month that will give birth in Nigeria. 1,000 of them are most likely to die from complications, be it hemorrhage, be it pre-eclampsia or eclampsia. This brings to mind Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's son. Chimamanda has spoken up for this country. She is frustrated about what happens in this country. But guess who wasn't spared by negligence or by other people's ignorance? Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. So how much will the federal government give the health sector this year? Yes, it has passed in the National Assembly, but how much really are they going to get this year? You might say, oh, God forbid, Jehovah Jireh will save me. I will not get sick. I pray you don't get sick. The worst thing that can ever happen to you is to get sick in this Nigeria. Like, I don't mean like, oh, okay, let me not even downplay any sickness. I was discussing with my boss yesterday about this maternity death thing, and she said the normal scenario should be one doctor to 600 patients. But in Nigeria, guess how much? One doctor to 12,000 patients. And this doctor to the 12,000 patients is not even getting paid. Has to cover a 24-hour shift. Tell me, please, how will that doctor not make mistakes? How will that doctor not forget? Because aside from being a doctor that went to school to study about, medicine and how the human body works, they still have emotions. They still have problems in their lives. So how exactly will that person function under an environment that doesn't prioritize them? So if you're saying that, I don't want to talk about politics because it's none of my business. It's your business, so. It's your business like mad. And you know the thing, the sad thing is, once you start, you can't unsee. Once you start getting involved or start like asking questions, wanting to learn, you can't unsee what is happening. For the 2026 budget, the sector that was heavily rewarded was the security sector. Yeah, security is a big problem in Nigeria. They gave the security sector 5 trillion naira, 5 point something trillion naira. And I'm wondering, I've had like elite governors, imams come out to say that the government knows where these people are. They converse with them on a daily basis. They even know their names. They're even trying to reintegrate them into the society. They know where they stay. They are on TikTok. These bandits, they are on TikTok, they are on social media, active. And I'm wondering, the 5 trillion naira that has been proposed for the security sector, is it to pay ransom, to patch, to pad the rubbish? Because if really we want to use that kind of money to solve security, since we already know who these people are, we should use it to take them away from the forest, maybe buy equipment to because I feel like the bulk of the work has been done. You know where they are, you know who they are. So what do you need 5 trillion naira for? Another thing is that the Nigerian government is unaccountable, because I believe that if you say you're spending money for a sector, you need to like do a breakdown. Maybe they can do breakdowns of what they need the money for. Like if you come to the security, you need to break down what you need the money for. Are we buying equipment? Are we consulting with maybe an AI company to create, AI services that would help us surveil Nigeria? Are we building walls around our borders? Like, what do we need a 5 trillion naira for? But we don't have that information. And they want to tax you. But they want to tax you. And if they tax you, it's your money that they will use for that thing that they want to do, for their stomach infrastructure. That if they don't finally tell you what they want to use that 5 trillion naira to do, once your money enter like this, that's what they are going to use it for. You need to be concerned. Because number one, I've said it first, that the government, after God, the government is the one that owns your life. And I came to that shocking realization when February, I was like, hey, that means all these people that used to collect rice and everything, they've just given up their freedom to the government. They're just giving up their life to the government. When they say, oh, don't sell your vote, don't collect rice from, stand that you vote the right candidate. We don't always understand it, but when you understand that you, with your vote, you are kind of like giving someone permission to do whatever they want to do with your life. Like, you are basically saying, I trust you with my life. I trust that you're going to lead me to a place that is safe and secure for me. That is what voting is. That's what you're basically saying when you vote or when you don't vote. You're basically saying, I surrender to you. With how things have happened in Nigeria, we have given up that power to the government. We have allowed them shape our experiences or shape how we see government. Because whether you like it or not, whether you're participating actively or passively, you're part of the government. Remember Abraham Lincoln, government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Government by the people, by the people, by the people, by the people, because you are the one that makes the decision. You're the one. They should before the government make a decision, they should worry that these people that elected us into office are going to like scrutinize what we're doing or what we're saying. But oh my God, is the government like a daisical? They don't see, with the statements they make online, with the things they say, you will know that these people don't care anymore. And even if they care, they will try to gaslight you. It's like, it's displaying, we can see it. If you consume political content for like a day, is even enough for you to see the impunity, for you to see the carelessness, for you to see how scary this thing is. One day is enough for you. So what Kunle Remi said in that video that really struck with me is that before, he was like, oh, he doesn't want to dabble into politics, let him just be an actor and do his thing. But I like to know the baba, they buy fuel every day. The people he employed are saying that the money he's paying them is not enough. when was it? Kunle Afolayan came out to say the same thing, that he's spending over 11 million naira in a month on fuel. Do you see that an individual is spending 11 million naira on fuel in a month? That means if we spend that money in 22, if we spend that money in 4 months, 11 million naira every month in 4 months, 44 million naira, it has actually exceeded the money federal government gave to the health sector last year. That is what an individual is spending on only fuel. Should I give you a second reason why you should be concerned? Because only this word I've spoken about is already enough. I think I'm actually coming to realize that you can't force people to do what you want. You can only talk and hope that they come to the realization of what you're saying. People always say, I pray that Nigeria never happens to you. And that is a real prayer. That is a serious prayer. You know, sometimes I want to do stuff and like maybe do documentaries on things, do shows on like certain topics, and I'm like, I start asking myself the question of, am I really passionate about this? And like, if I want to talk about maternity deaths, am I passionate about it? If I want to talk about drug abuse, am I passionate about it? Should I talk about it? Am I obsessed with it enough to talk about it? And lately I've been like, girl, at this point you don't need to be passionate about Jack. It's a problem that needs to be, that people need to be aware of. So the whether you're passionate about it or obsessed about it is not the point. Kunle said it is stupid to think that politics is not your business. Don't see it as politics. I think that word is what is like scaring people away. Don't say politics. Say it's your life. It's your life that this one you see to play 10-10. It's your life. You want to jabba? How much? The money you want to use on jabba. That is what. Hey. Is it electricity we want to talk about? I think at least 16 states in Nigeria don't have lights now. The national grid collapsed, fainted. How many times last year? And guess what? Adelabu came out yesterday or day before yesterday and said he apologizes, blah, 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 that the lightout is temporary. Oh my God. Where is the consequence? Where is the punishment for rubbish? Where is it? We're not angry enough in this country. We do small rage and move on. But I understand it. Even me, I do small rage and move on because Oluwa shanu me. How often are you going to talk in a good country, in a country that if you try rubbish, they will deal with you? They have sacked that guy from last year. He will not enter this year. Like when the first grid collapse happened, or you collapsed the third time, it'll be like, you don't know what you're doing here. Get out. but he's coming to apologize to you. It's crazy. So don't see it as politics. See it as these people are going to ruin my life. These people are going to make or mar my future. These people are going to determine where my life goes. Because, okay, you want to start a business in Nigeria. I was speaking to somebody just like a few minutes ago. What do you mean, ground rent? Hey, ground rent? I'm trying to come out of the poverty that you have put me into. But I still have to pay ground rent on top of the rent. How? Why? I still have to pay tax on top. I still have to buy fuel on top. I have to transport myself from my house to the business place. And be mentally stressed on top. You know how much work you put into your business. But at the end of the month, you can't even see. You don't even feel chop the fruit of your labor in peace. Because every other thing is taking it. Every other thing is taking it. Realize that whatever the people in power are doing, it concerns you like mad. And you need to be concerned. It's your business. I'll say this again. I said it last year. This country is in tension. And it just needs something. Just oberi small to push it over the edge. We're already at the cliff. We're already at the edge. Just small thing. Call it revolution, call it war, call it uprising, call it what happened in Nepal. I don't know what it is going to be. But it's sad. It is really sad. So I'm just going to end there, man. Be concerned. And if they're having political conversations, you might not have anything tangible to chip in, but be in that conversation to understand enough how this affects you. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you.